Welcome back to the channel MDP Coins, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic enthusiasts. Today's video is going to blow your mind, especially if you've got spare change sitting in a jar or tucked away in a drawer. Because one of the most ordinary looking coins, a 1994 Roosevelt dime, has taken the spotlight for being incredibly rare, historically rich, and, you guessed it, worth thousands of dollars. We're talking up to $47,000 for just one dime. That's right, a coin with a face value of 10 cents could fund a car, a college semester, or even a down payment on a house. So make sure you watch this video until the end, because we're diving deep into why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, what makes it unique, and how much it's going for in today's red-hot collector's market. Let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. The 1994 Roosevelt dime was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is designated with the letter P just above the date. At first glance, this dime looks like your average pocket change, a simple coin featuring the left-facing portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the word Liberty along the edge, In God We Trust, beneath his chin, and the date, 1994, clearly visible. But here's where it gets interesting. While billions of dimes were produced in the 1990s, and over 1.8 billion were struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1994 alone, a tiny fraction of them came out with rare errors or minting anomalies that turned them into numismatic gold, metaphorically speaking. These are the coins that collectors are chasing, and some have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. You may be asking, why would a common coin be worth so much? The answer is simple: rarity, condition, and error types. Let's break it down. Mint errors. Some 1994 dimes were struck off-center, double-struck, or even missing design elements due to planchet errors. These types of mistakes are highly sought after by collectors because they are visual proof that something unusual happened during the minting process. High-grade condition, MS68 plus. The grading scale used by coin professionals goes from 1 to 70. A dime that grades MS68 or higher, that's mint state 68 or above, is almost flawless, with sharp details, beautiful luster, and no visible blemishes. Only a handful of 1994 dimes exist in this condition, making them extremely valuable. Full bands designation. If you flip the dime and look at the torch on the reverse side, you'll notice horizontal lines on the torch bands. When these bands are completely visible and well-defined, the coin may receive a full bands designation, which significantly increases its value. When you combine a high-grade, full bands, and maybe even a rare error, you've got the formula for a coin that could fetch $20,000, $30,000, even upwards of $47,000, depending on buyer demand and market timing. Now, let's talk a little about the history. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the year before. He was a central figure in American history, leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. The dime was chosen to bear his image because of his association with the March of Dimes, an organization originally founded to combat polio. Roosevelt himself suffered from the disease, and his leadership in the fight against it made the dime a fitting tribute. The "In God We Trust" motto, which also appears on the coin, has been part of U.S. coinage since the 1860s. It reflects a long-standing national tradition and adds a layer of reverence and heritage to each piece. Let's talk money. In recent years, coin auctions have seen incredible spikes in demand for rare Roosevelt dimes, particularly those in pristine condition. A 1994 Roosevelt dime graded MS68 with full bands designation was sold at auction for a staggering $47,000. That's $47,000 for a single 10-cent coin. Even those graded a bit lower, say MS67 or MS66 with full bands, are selling for several $1,000s. Coins with mint errors, such as off-center strikes or broad strikes, can sell anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s based on their rarity and visual appeal, and the market is growing. With more collectors entering the space, prices for rare dimes are only trending upward. It's not just about coin collecting anymore. This is real investment territory. So how can you tell if you have one of these valuable dimes? Here's what to look for. Check the date. Make sure it says 1994 and has a P mint mark above the date. Examine the condition. Look for a clean, sharp surface with no wear. If it looks flawless, it might be worth submitting for grading. Flip the coin. Look at the torch on the reverse. Can you see clear, uninterrupted lines across the bands? If so, you might have a full bands dime. Look for errors, off-center strikes, doubling, misalignments, and other mint errors dramatically increase value. Get it graded. If you suspect your dime might be valuable, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade will legitimize its value and make it easier to sell. Section 6. Final thoughts and collector tips. Coins like the 1994 P. Roosevelt dime prove that treasure can be hiding in plain sight, even in your pocket change. With a sharp eye and a little knowledge, anyone can join the hunt. So check your coin jars, piggy banks, and old wallets. Who knows, you might just be holding on to a 5-figure payday without even knowing it. And remember, coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's history, art, and investment all rolled into one. Whether you're new to numismatics or a seasoned pro, keep learning, stay curious, and never overlook the humble dime. OUTRO. Call to action. Thanks for watching. If you found this video valuable, do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and turn on the bell so you never miss out on hidden treasures. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're going to start checking your change more carefully. We love hearing your stories. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next dime be worth $47,000. Where we dive deep into the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and collectible currency that could be sitting right in your pocket change. Today, we're going to talk about a dime, yes, a single 10-cent coin, that could be worth an eye-watering $87,000. You heard that right. We're talking about the 1998 P. Roosevelt dime, a tiny piece of metal that carries big history, a mysterious story, and even bigger value for the right collector. So, grab your magnifying glass and get ready, because this is one coin you won't want to overlook. Let's get into it. Cut to close-up visuals of various 1998 dimes being examined under magnification. Narrator: the 1998 Roosevelt dime, minted in Philadelphia, marked with the P. mint mark, is usually considered a common coin. Millions were made. It circulates just like any other dime. Most of them are worth exactly 10 cents. But every so often, one coin stands out, and that one coin can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Let's explore how that's even possible. The history of the Roosevelt dime. Narrator: the Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, shortly after his passing. It replaced the Mercury dime and quickly became a staple of American currency. Since then, the design hasn't changed much. The obverse features Roosevelt's profile and the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the mint date. The reverse has a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But what makes the 1998 P dime so incredibly valuable? Let's dig deeper. What makes a 1998 P dime worth $87,000? Narrator: not every 1998 P dime is valuable, but the rare ones have specific errors or conditions that make collectors go wild. The most sought-after example is a proof strike that was mistakenly minted with a Philadelphia P. mint mark and released into circulation, which is unheard of for proof coins. Proof coins are typically struck at the San Francisco Mint, using a specialized process that creates ultra-detailed and mirror-like finishes. They are not supposed to have a P. mint mark. But somehow, a proof-style dime with a P. mint mark made its way into the wild. Collectors call it the 1998 P. proof error dime, and its incredibly rare .1 verified specimen sold for over $87,000 at auction, making it one of the most valuable Roosevelt dimes ever sold. Cut to auction footage, close-up of the error dime in protective casing, with price tag overlay, grading and condition. Why it matters. Narrator: now, let's talk condition. The value of any coin, especially rare ones, depends heavily on its condition and grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin, no scratches, no wear, flawless strike. A high-grade 1998 P dime, especially one with an error or unusual strike, can dramatically increase in value. A normal dime in circulated condition may still only be worth face value. But a pristine, uncirculated, or proof error example with strong strike quality, that's the goldmine. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are essential for verifying the authenticity and value of these rare finds. Cut to footage of coins being graded, slabs with certification numbers. What to look for. Narrator: so, how do you know if your 1998 P dime is one of the valuable ones? Here's what you need to check. Mint mark: look for the P below Roosevelt's neck. Strike quality: if it has mirror-like surfaces, especially on both sides, it might be a proof error. Edge: Details: a sharply struck edge with fine detail may hint at a special strike. No wear: the less wear, the better. Even the tiniest scratch can lower its grade. Oddities or errors, double dies, misaligned strikes, missing elements, or other abnormalities can make your dime a collector's dream. If you suspect you have one, do not clean it. Instead, send it in for professional grading and authentication. The market today. Narrator: so, what's the market like for 1998p dimes today? Coin collecting has skyrocketed in popularity in recent years, especially during uncertain economic times. Investors are turning to physical assets, and rare coins are right at the top of the list. As of now, verified 1998p proof error dimes are extremely limited. With fewer than a handful confirmed, demand has outstripped supply. This is why the price can jump to tens of thousands of dollars, even $87,000 or more depending on condition and auction competition. Dealers and collectors alike are constantly on the hunt, and even eBay has seen listings for error dimes reaching into the thousands. Cut to charts of rising coin values, clips from major coin conventions. Final thoughts. Narrator: so the next time you get change back from the store, don't overlook that little dime, because that 1998p Roosevelt dime in your hand could be the same kind that fetched over $87,000 at auction. Coin collecting is part art, part history, part treasure hunt, and you never know when your next find could change your financial future. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video valuable, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss any future coin discoveries. And if you have a 1998 dime or any other interesting coin, let us know in the comments. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. Coin collectors and treasure hunters, today, we're diving into one of the most surprising and valuable modern coins circulating right now, the 2011p Roosevelt dime. Yes, the humble one dime, a coin you might just have in your pocket or change jar right now that could be worth thousands of dollars, even up to $7,000. You heard that right. Just 10 cents face value, but with the right features, this small coin becomes a giant in value. So don't go anywhere, because we're uncovering everything you need to know, from minting details, to collector demand, error variations, and the current market value in 2025. Cut to high-res image of the obverse and reverse of a 2011p dime. Narrator: first, let's talk about the coin itself. The 2011p Roosevelt dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and it features the classic image of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, designed by John R. Sinek. It bears the familiar inscriptions, "Liberty in God We Trust," the year 2011, and the P Mint mark for Philadelphia. On the reverse, we have the torch flanked by olive and oak branches, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, a timeless American design. But here's the twist. While millions of these dimes were minted for circulation, over 748 million, in fact only a tiny percentage have the characteristics that make them rare and extremely valuable. Cut to zoomed-in shots of error coins. So what makes a 2011p dime worth more than face value? It's all about condition, rarity, and most importantly errors. Let's break that down. Point 1. High-grade condition. Mint state rarity coins in pristine, untouched condition are worth more. We're talking mint state 67, 68, or even 69, graded by professionals at services like PCGS or NGC. Most coins from circulation show where even just a small scratch or smudge can reduce its value, but a perfect 2011p dime, preserved straight from a mint roll or uncirculated set, can be extremely hard to come by. Point 1. 2011p dime graded MS68 by PCGS sold for over $7,000 at auction, due to its immaculate surface, sharp details, and incredible rarity at that grade level. Only a few exist this perfect, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to get one. Display chart: 2011p dime graded value MS60 to MS68. So if you've got an uncirculated dime from 2011, especially from a mint set, you might be holding something special. Point 2. Mint errors, the big money makers. Now let's talk errors, and this is where things get really exciting. Certain minting mistakes can send the value of a 2011p dime skyrocketing. Here are some of the top error types to look for. Off-center strike. If part of the design is missing or shifted off the planchet, that's a major error. A 10% or more off-center 2011p dime can sell for hundreds. Double die obverse, DDO. Look closely at "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." If the letters look doubled or shadowed, that's a doubling error, and collectors love these. Missing clad layer. If your dime looks more copper-toned or off-color, it may be missing its outer nickel coating, a rare minting mishap, die clash, when the dies strike each other without a coin between them. It can leave ghost images on the final coin. Misaligned dies, a slightly off alignment can increase value, especially in mint state coins. Some 2011p era dimes have sold from $200 all the way up to $2,500 plus, depending on the era and grade. Point 3. Why the market is hot in 2025. So why are coins like the 2011p dime gaining value now? A few reasons: increased collector interest in modern era coins, online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections making rare coins more visible, and the simple fact that many high-grade or era coins are being pulled from circulation, making them harder to find every year. Investors are starting to realize that modern coins, especially with low population high grades, are the new frontier in numismatics. Point 4. How to check your dime. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I've got a valuable one? Here's what to do: check the date and mint mark. You need the 2011p Roosevelt dime. Inspect with a magnifying glass or loupe. Look for doubling, odd colors, or misalignment. Weigh the coin. Standard dimes should weigh about 2.27 grams. Any difference could point to an error. Compare with online guides or submit for grading. If your dime looks different or especially crisp, consider sending it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Point 5. Final thoughts: could you be holding a treasure? You might have walked past this coin 100 times. It could be in your drawer, a coin jar, or mixed in with spare change, but the truth is, the 2011p Roosevelt dime is more than just 10 cents. In rare cases, it's a coin collector's dream. So take a closer look. Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth thousands. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. We cover US coin history, modern eras, coin hunting tips, and real-time market values. Hit that bell so you never miss an opportunity to find treasure hiding in plain sight.